The Cunning Fox and the Clever Rabbit. In a dense forest, surrounded by ancient trees and sprawling meadows, there lived a fox named Felix and a rabbit named Ruby. Felix was known as the cunning predator of the forest, always scheming to trap his next meal. Ruby, on the other hand, was famous for her quick thinking and agility. Felix's scheme. One fine morning, Felix woke up with a growling stomach. He hadn't eaten in days, and his hunger was driving him mad. As he strolled through the forest, he spotted Ruby hopping around near her burrow, nibbling on fresh grass. Felix licked his lips and thought, what a delicious breakfast she would make. But I must be smart, she's quick and clever. Felix approached Ruby with a friendly smile. Good morning, Ruby. Such a lovely day, isn't it? Ruby paused, her long ears twitching. She knew Felix's reputation and was immediately cautious. Good morning, Felix. What brings you here so early? Oh, nothing much, Felix said smoothly. I was just thinking about how lonely life can be in the forest. Don't you ever wish you had more friends to share stories with? Ruby raised an eyebrow. Friends? What kind of friends are you talking about? Well, Felix continued, I've decided to host a grand feast today. I'm inviting all the animals to my den. There will be berries, mushrooms, honey, and the best food the forest has to offer. Ruby's curiosity was piqued, but she remained wary. That sounds wonderful, Felix. What can I bring to the feast? Oh, nothing at all. Felix replied with a chuckle. Just bring yourself. I'll take care of everything else. Ruby's plan. As Felix walked away, Ruby's mind raced. She suspected that Felix's invitation was a trap. Determined not to fall victim to his cunning, she devised a plan of her own. Ruby went to her friends Squeaky the Squirrel, Benny the Badger, and Clara the Crow and explained Felix's suspicious invitation. Together, they came up with a clever scheme to outwit him. The feast. When the time for the feast arrived, Ruby and her friends approached Felix's den cautiously. Felix greeted them with a wide grin, hiding his true intentions. Welcome, everyone. Please, come inside and enjoy the feast. Felix gestured toward his den, where he had laid out a spread of food. Ruby hesitated. Felix, before we go in, let's play a little game. It's a tradition in my family to tell a riddle before any big meal. If you can solve it, we'll gladly join you. Felix smirked, confident in his intelligence. A riddle? That sounds fun. Go ahead, Ruby. Ruby smiled and recited, I'm light as a feather but strong as a tree, I can trap the mightiest without you seeing me. What am I? Felix frowned, puzzled. He thought hard but couldn't figure out the answer. I give up. What is it? Ruby grinned. It's a trap. Just like the one you set for us today. Turning the tables. At that moment, Clara the Crow swooped down, dropping a bundle of sticky vines onto Felix. Squeaky and Benny quickly tied the vines around him, pinning him to the ground. Felix struggled but couldn't free himself. Let me go. He growled. Ruby hopped close, her eyes twinkling with mischief. We know you plan to turn us into your meal, Felix. But today, the tables have turned. The animals decided to teach Felix a lesson. They dragged him to the middle of the forest and announced his failed scheme to all the other creatures. Embarrassed and humiliated, Felix promised never to harm Ruby or her friends again. A new chapter. From that day forward, Felix kept his word. Though he remained sly and cunning, he realized that outsmarting Ruby and her friends was no easy task. Ruby and her companions continued to live happily in the forest, always staying one step ahead of trouble. Their cleverness and teamwork became legendary, reminding everyone that even the strongest predators can be defeated by wit and unity. And so, the forest thrived with laughter, harmony, and the occasional friendly reminder not to mess with Ruby, the clever rabbit.